All right, so let's take that major scale and all that knowledge that we learned in the last lesson and apply it to minor chords and minor scales. So we do know how to play, we know how a major scale sounds like, and the major chord. It sounds very bright and happy and light to it. But a minor chord, they tend to sound a lot darker. Like, that would be an example of a minor chord. So if you're, it's really just a very simple distinction between these. It's just, one sounds lighter, and then this minor chord sounds darker. And there's just a different scale that goes along with that minor chord in your left hand. So in order to learn a minor chord or a minor scale, what we do is we take that major scale that we already know, and we'll take that C major 7 voicing in our left hand. And what we're going to do is we're going to flat the 3rd and the 7th note. So our scale is no longer going to be all white keys. It's going to be all white keys, but now we're going to be flatting the 3rd and the 7th. So we're going to be having 2 of these black keys being played after you change from a major 7th to a minor 7th chord. So let's try that. So in your left hand, I want you to take this major 7th chord, this 1, 3, 5, 7, based on the C major scale. And then we're going to play the C minor 7th chord by taking these 2 notes, the 3 and the 7th, and then flatting them. So we're going to flat these 2 notes down to these notes right here. So we're going to play E flat and B flat. So E and B go to E flat and B flat. And in our right hand, we're going to take that scale that we had before. We had the C major scale, so we had, and then we're going to play this same scale, but now we're going to have this 3rd and the 7th, they're going to be flatted. So we're going to do the exact same thing that we did to our left hand, except now it's in the form of a scale. So we'll play, instead of playing this, we'll play, so on that 3rd, that 3rd's going to be flatted. So we're going to go, on that 3rd, we're going to go right up here to this black key, which is E flat. And then we'll go to F, G, A, and then B flat here, C. So this is our new chord, or our new scale for this chord in our left hand, which is called a minor 7th chord. So try just playing the scale over just a little bit like this, and play the major scale as opposed to that, and see how they sound different. So this is the minor scale. And so what you're doing here is you're taking this major 7th chord with this major scale, so we can solo in all white keys, right, on this major C major 7th chord. But then when we go to C minor 7th, now we have to change the scale that we solo in to this C minor scale, or you can also call it a Dorian scale. So just associate like minor 7th chord here with a Dorian scale or a minor scale in our right hand. That's just the technical name for it is Dorian, but I just don't want you to get confused later if I ever talk about like a different kind of minor scale or things like that. But don't pay attention to like any of that stuff. Like we're just sticking like straight down to this major scale and the major 7th chord. And then we're also soloing, and then we're also going on this minor 7th chord with this minor 7th scale. And so what we did to get, again, from the major 7th chord to the minor 7th chord was we flatted the 3rd and the 7th. And like, I'm just repeating this again and again and again because it's so important that you get this. Like to go from a major to a minor chord, you flat the 3rd and the 7th. To go from a major to a minor chord, you flat the 3rd and the 7th. So you just always do that with the chords that we're playing, and with the way that we're going to be soloing too. So what you can do over these, you can play this C major scale, and now let's play that C minor scale, or C Dorian. And so it just gives you another chord with a different feeling to it, with this more dark feeling. That you can use to express that different kind of emotion. Because before we were able to express this very like happy feeling, but if you want like a more dark or smooth or whatever you associate with it, then we can go to these minor seventh chords. And we'll be able to use these in just our soloing and in improvisation as well. So just know how to form that minor seventh chord from the major seventh by flatting the third and the seventh, and then also using that corresponding scale, which is called the Dorian scale in your right hand, with that third and seventh flatted from the major scale that we started with.